Now, this is a lesson for you guys, and it's very, very important you pay attention to what I'm saying down here. Because for market structure to have strong order flow, what we want to see... So surprisingly, BTC has been extremely resilient, especially based on what's going on currently right now, geopolitically. And that's why I believe there's something bigger that's going to come. And that's why we need to be prepared. Now, in this video, I'm going to break down my current thought process on BTC and where I think it's going to go in the short term, but also over the next 6 to 12 months. And I'm also going to break down the exact position that I took earlier this week on BTC as a scalp long position. To start off with, apologies in advance. I haven't made a video for you guys. Normally I do weekly videos for you guys and give you an understanding on where I am at in the markets right now. However, I've caught a really bad cold, and you can probably tell by my voice that it sounds a bit weird. Okay, let's jump straight into the charts. So weekly time frame on BTC. Last week we had this huge ugly wick to the upside. We tapped into this bearish fair value gap and we rejected off it. We closed below it. We're coming back up. And it's likely we may even take out previous week's highs first before we roll over to the downside. But I'll go over that in a bit more detail in a second. What I can see right now is resilience. We can see strength in BTC, which is a surprise because what's going on right now, geopolitically, across the globe, we have a lot of tension. Surprisingly, BTC is remaining strong along with all the alts and also Ethereum to some extent. Now, this could mean that something bigger is actually going to come. And that something bigger could result in the bigger move to the downside, where my targets are at least sub 50K. Now, daily time frame, if we go into the details of what I was looking at, we were within this accumulation phase. Price came out from it and we struck a region on the 4-hour, a fair value gap, and rejected it. Now, essentially what I wanted to see was a deeper manipulation. Price coming a bit more deeper into the fair value gap, just below AEK, if not AEK, and we can see a rejection from there, then move to the downside. Now, that's still on the cards, and I'll show you exactly why I feel like that's still on the cards as things stand right now. But that's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see a bigger move to the upside first before we get the move to the downside. Now, we haven't got that. Now, although we haven't got that, and I do think the move to the upside is still on the cards, there's a possibility we can also reverse from here. And the reason why I say that is because we've come out from this area, and this is your manipulation. We've done what we were expecting. We've taken some form of liquidity. Now, let's go in a bit more detail on the 4-hour. So what we can see on the 4-hour, if I just zoom out just a bit, what we can see is price comes in and we come and sweep liquidity down here. You can see price drops, comes back up, sweeps liquidity. We get a strong bullish move to the upside, break of market structure, changing the state of delivery, come back down. When we come back down, come into the fair value gap. Okay, so this is market structure that I'm showing you guys. Come back down and we tap right into this fair value gap in the discount region and move aggressively up to the upside again. Break of market structure, another break of market structure here. Strong aggressive close to the upside down here as well. Let's zoom in for you guys. Right, now what can we see? We can see strong market structure. More importantly, we can see bullish market structure on the lower time frames. This is known as bullish order flow. Here's your low, here's your higher high, here's your higher low, here's your higher high, here's your higher low, right? So you can see price is moving and trending upwards. What I don't like is as we were moving upwards on the 4-hour, we didn't sweep liquidity in areas. Down here we have, I'll come on to that in a second. Now, this is a lesson for you guys, and it's very, very important you pay attention to what I'm saying down here. Because for market structure to have strong order flow, what we want to see is something like this. Price moves up, price comes down, sweeps liquidity, price moves up. Price comes down, sweeps liquidity, price moves up. This is the liquidity being swept. This is what we want to see. This confirms that we are in strong bullish order flow. Now, if we go on the charts once again, we can see price moves up, price comes down. I don't like how we've swept the liquidity. We haven't really swept liquidity. What I'd like to see is price moves up aggressively, takes out the highs, with a close above, comes back down and sweeps liquidity. So ideally, what I would have liked to see was this candlestick down here would have taken the lows of this. That means liquidity had been swept. This would have been a strong low. Therefore, we would have moved up to the upside, and I would have been more convinced that price is likely going to continue moving to the upside from here. Now, having said that, what we can see and what I do like is this sweep, a nice clean sweep of liquidity. You got the lows down here. We had a strong bullish move to the upside. Price comes down deep into the discount side of this larger dealing range from these lows to these highs, discount side. And what happens? Price sweeps this liquidity, 4-hour close below it, and we have another 4-hour close engulfing the previous 4-hour, and then we move to the upside. I like how clean that is. Now, what I don't like, and this is where, it's a bit confusing, the charts right now, because we're in this sideways move, okay? We're getting break of market structures, but then we're also getting break of market structures to the downside as well. What I do like is just the order flow that we're having down here. We can see that, okay, it's come a bit more deeper. There's a possibility we can continue moving to the upside from here. So to summarize, what I'm expecting is the possibility of price coming back up, taking out these highs down here, coming into this fair value gap. So this fair value gap between the regions of 74,000 to 75,600. Now, if we have a strong daily close above these regions, I'll be looking further to the upside, and I'll be looking in the regions of just under 80K. That's the region that I'll be looking at. Now, if we don't get that, and if we do just reverse from these regions, we will come back. We will come down, we'll sweep this liquidity down here, and we'll come into the regions of sub 50K. Now, my entry, I took a scalp long position because it was looking very, very clean. It was an aggressive position that I took on BTC to the upside, and I took this position on Monday. There was also another position yesterday as well. So let's go into the details. So number one, what can we see? Sweep of liquidity, right? Failure, displacement, continuation to the downside. Number one, that's a good sign. Secondly, break of market structure, strong, aggressive displacement to the upside. Okay, what happens after that? After that, we get continuation. Now we're getting the bullish order flow because price is respecting this fair value gap down here. Get the move. Price is respecting the fair value gap. Move to the upside again. Comes back down. Likely a 15-minute fair value gap and order block within that region. Price comes back up. Okay. As price comes back up, what do we have? We have this down here. Price comes in to this fair value gap down here, and we get another move to the upside from here as well. Now, I took my entry, and normally I don't, but I took my entry on the 15-minute time frame, and I'll show you exactly what I was looking at. When we had the 1-hour failure displacement, this strong move to the upside, I took an aggressive position, and I was waiting for price to come back into this fair value gap down here, and I wanted to see liquidity being swept. So this is what I spoke to you about. What we want to see is price moves up, and then we get a sweep of liquidity and then moves up, right? So what do we have down here? Price moves up, we have this sweep of liquidity, and then price moves up. So I took my entry down here within this region, and I had a large stop loss. I had my stop loss below the lows down here. And I'll go over my targets in a second. Now, paired with that, we can, if you wanted to, add in our 50%. Let's get that in. 50% dealing range. So there's your discount, your premium comes into the discount side of the dealing range. So there's your entry. That's exactly how I took my entry, an aggressive position. Normally, I don't look at the 15-minute, or especially in crypto. Normally, I look at it when I'm trading Forex. But that's what I was looking at. Now, in terms of targets, exactly what I was looking for was, firstly, if we go to the 4 hour, what I wanted to see was we had the move to the downside. And as we were moving to the downside, all of these areas down here, what are these? I just taught you it. This is exactly what's happening. And that's known as your low resistance lows. Now, if we had something like this, sweeping the liquidity, these would have been your high resistance highs. But these are your low resistance highs down here. Therefore, this is your target. These are your target areas where you want to target for price to come into. So therefore, I took the position and I already had set my limit in terms of take profit around these regions. So it was just below 71,400, and that's exactly where price came, around there, and I took my full take profit as we moved up from there. So that's the breakdown of the entry that I took on BTC. And to be honest, it's one of the most aggressive positions that I normally don't take, especially in crypto. But it was a very, very good trade that played out very, very well. Now, there was another entry that you could have taken aggressive once again, and that's based on this move that we had to the upside down here. Now, I didn't take this position, but if we look into the details of it, we've got this low down here, we've got this high down here. Okay. What we want to see going to the 15-minute is there is all of this area down here, and I want to see a sweep of liquidity below these areas down here. You've got the dealing range from here to here. I want to see price come into the discount, taking out these lows down here, and that's exactly what happened down here as well. We've got this order block down here as well. So you would have taken a position from that level, stop loss below the lows down here, and again, targeting the regions of 71,400. That would have been your second position. Now, again, apologies for not sending a video earlier to you guys, but that's what I'm looking at on BTC right now. What do I think is going to happen longer term over the next 6 to 12 months? Well, if we can get the move to the downside and the sweep of these sell side liquidities below 50K, we're ready to pump. We're ready to come back into the regions of 90, 100, if not taking out all-time highs. But based on what's happening geopolitically right now, I do feel like this is going to take some time. When bottoms form, it takes some time. If we zoom right out, look how long it took for this bottom to form. I mean, the better part of a whole year, I would say. And I would expect for price to take at least around 6 to 7 months, if not towards the end of this year. Cool. If you like these types of videos, I trade liquidity and I look at market structure. Consider subscribing, and I will see you in the next video.